Welcome to I Have Issues, a comic book show where I talk about comic book related subjects that either piss me off or annoy me to some degree. But today's comic does neither. But before we get into that, let's talk about Dungeons & Dragons. I'm assuming every person watching this video knows about this game, but on the slim chance you don't, D&D is a tabletop role-playing game. You create your own character, fight through an adventure, and all of your shit is determined by rolling various types of dice. Usually. The game is mostly known as a nerd game, but it seems to have gotten fairly popular in the last year or so, which is good. And I contributed a lot of that rise in popularity to D&D live play shows like Dice Camera Action, Critical Role, and the subject of today's video, The Adventure Zone. The Adventure Zone is a comedy D&D podcast created by the MacLeods. The DM is Griffin McElroy, and the players are his two older brothers, Travis and Justin, and their father, Clint. The show started in 2014 with the first episode of their D&D campaign that would later come to be known as the Balance Arc. A 69-episode series, the campaign ran from 2014 to 2017. After going for so long and being so successful, it led to some unique opportunities. In 2018, a comic book based on the Adventure Zone's first arc, Here There Be Gerblins, was released, and that's what we're here to talk about today. The comic adaptation was done by Clint McElroy and Carrie Pietzich? I can't pronounce it, I'm sorry. A cartoonist who helped with adapting the show and did the artwork for the comic. Here There Be Gerblins was a short story arc that made up the first 6 episodes of the show. It started with The Lost Mines, a short pre-made D&D campaign that comes with the Dungeons & Dragons starter kit. Now, to my knowledge, they don't follow that book too closely before it developed into its own thing, and the rest of the show spins off from there. The 3 main characters are a fighter named Magnus Burnsides, the cleric, Merle Highchurch, and the chef turned full-time wizard, Taco. The 3 of them have been hired by one of Merle's relatives to help transport some supplies to another city. Along the way, they find out that their employer, Bogart Stoneseeker, and his bodyguard, Barry Bluejeans, were ambushed and captured by Gerblins, so they set out to rescue them. This leads to them finding and killing said Gerblins fairly quickly and rescuing Barry, who helps them find another cave that they believe Bogart is in. There, they end up fighting an evil wizard named Magic Brian and his big spider named Brian, and finding a magic gauntlet of immense power that Bogart uses to wipe out an entire city, and he also kills himself. Now keep in mind, I'm summarizing a lot here, because honestly, I think you should go ahead and read this book. The Adventure Zone is a comedy-based podcast, and this comic does a good job of translating that humor to the page. The art style is very cartoony, which works well for a comedy-based book, and all comes together into a fun comic that I'm happy to say will be continuing. They're apparently turning the entire podcast into a comic book series, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Seriously, check it out if you guys haven't already. I talk about a lot of comic book subjects that are either stupid or poorly executed or just outright bad, so when I talk about a comic that I believe to be actually good, give that comic a try and you might enjoy yourself. And that's it for me. Now, I've got one more D&D comic book that I want to talk about, so come back next month when we'll be talking about Vox Machina Origins. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and is it Thursday yet?